Good afternoon. Welcome to the meeting of the Information Technology and General Services Committee for Tuesday, May 8th. I am joined this afternoon by my colleagues, Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell and Bob Blumenfield, and welcome to the highly popular meeting today. My goodness. Thank you all for being here. Why don't we go ahead and take general public comment and multiple speaker cards. And so at this time, what do we...
You also wish to call multi-item?
And multiple item speaker cards. So, Mr. Herman, you're up. So you have 2 minutes for items 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, CD 14, dealing with Jose Huizar. He states, for the matter, approve that at 622 West Pico Boulevard, that such a piece of parcel's value of purchase price for $9 million should be given to a hotel development. But what is the payback for the homeless population who are in crisis for HHH, affordable housing? Fuck you, Huizar. Then we go into the other items of bullshit and fucking racketeering and stealing from the public, not to provide adequate housing. Again, Jose Huizar, parcel, property located at 1256, 1258, 126 South Figueroa Street. Prime location for excellent amenities for homelessness. Why not provide such purchase of property for the homeless? Why not? You eliminate the eyesores, you take away all the negative responses and criticism here at City Hall, and people get a job. No housing, no job, fuck you, LA. And then you go to item number 2 regarding relative city development consultants to assess management and fucking economic development, fucking service, or fucking new term, fuck that, 23 June 2019. And then regarding this morning's port situation with Joe Busquiano.
Stick to the items, please, Mr. Herman.
Regarding the fourth construction project, not Seabreeze, but this one's dealing with city capital improvement expenditures. Well, why don't you fucking stick with the affordable housing, HHH, and provide development that creates adequate housing? Now my general public comment?
Yep.
So the American Disability Act prohibits discrimination, and the racketeering, stealing, corruption, and loss of HHH money is a result of non-proactive elected officials, big crybaby officials who would rather fit the wallet with development money and allow a so-called rapist, David Rue, to stay on council. We've demanded that David Rue be removed for the purpose that he's a threat to women and men and that of the other populations of Mitch O'Farrell, LGBTQT. So as long as you continue to protect a rapist like David Rue and allow David Rue and the Koreans to talk about not having a homeless shelter in Koreatown, fuck you.
Okay. That will close general public comment. And colleagues, without any objection, I'd like to recommend taking item number 2 on consent. Is that, okay, without objection, that'll be the order. And that'll take us to item number 3.
Good afternoon, John White, City Clerk. Item 3, CAO, fourth construction project report for fiscal year 2017-18 and recommended funding adjustments for the city's capital improvement expenditure program, various recreational facility projects, general obligation bond funded projects, and the Department of General Services construction projects.
Thank you. And we also have a speaker card for item number 3. So why don't we go ahead and just take that quickly. Dale Burgoyne. Dale Burgoyne. Excuse me. Sorry. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dale Burgoyne. I'm a senior engineer with the Public Works Department, Bureau of Sanitation. And I'm here to talk about DGUP. That's our digester gas utilization project, approximately $150 million project. The project is substantially complete, and we need to finish the closeout change order, and that includes an additional payment of $18 million beyond what's already been paid. There's not sufficient funds in the project account and by $18 million, and so we requested a transfer of the $18 million from another project that had excess funds for this fiscal year to the Hyperion DGUP account to cover the change order. So we submitted a request for the transfer, which I have a copy for you, and hoping that it would be included in the for CPR. Unfortunately, when we saw the agenda and saw what was included, this transfer was not included, and so I'm here today asking that this transfer be included in the for CPR so we can perform the closeout change order in this fiscal year.
Okay, thank you. Daisy, could you come up? Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Could you walk us through, I know there's going to be some amendments, but are you familiar with the sanitation request?
I am a little familiar with it, and we did receive it very late, so we weren't able to include it in this report.
Okay, so it's highly unorthodox at this stage to try and request in this manner. So walk us through what we're doing right here with some of the amendments I know that are being proposed as to the current.
Well, let me start with my name. My name is Daisy Bonilla. I'm here representing the City Administrative Officer. Before you is the fourth CPR, the fourth 2017-20 Construction Project Report. This project recommends a total of $34.6 million in transfers and appropriations for previously authorized construction projects. Of this amount, approximately $12.5 million will be transferred to General Services Department, $7.4 million to the Bureau of Engineering, and $11 million transferred to other city funds. There are no known impacts to the general fund in connection with the authorized projects covered in this report. Any potential increases in operation and maintenance costs associated with any projects would be addressed through the city budget process as projects are completed. We have one set of changes currently to remove two items from the MICLA reauthorizations reflected in Attachment 6 to be consistent with instructions provided by the Budget and Finance Committee as part of the budget hearings, which reduces the overall total by $12 million from the current $97.9 million to a revised amount of $85,982,710. This same amount would be reflected in the Attachment 4 and in Recommendation 8.
Great.
And the recommendation would read, reapprove to use a total of up to and delete the old total of $97,982,710 and replace it with a revised total of $85,982,710. So that would be the current changes that we have.
Okay. So now, just to be clear, because the two items, I know they were being extracted because they're going to go to Public Safety Committee, correct?
Yes, during the Budget and Finance Committee, there were two budget questions with regards to LAPD creating solar and EV infrastructure. And the committee wanted a policy in place before we proceed and appropriating the amounts.
Okay. So just to be clear as to the request that's being brought before us now with the Bureau of Sanitation related to the DGUP project, has there been any conversation with the CAO's office on that and how? Okay, thank you.
Bernice Hollins, Office of the CAO. Thank you. We actually just became aware of this, myself personally, just a few hours before committee. So we have not had chance, at least my group, to vet it fully. However, we can look at this item. It is appropriate for it to go into the construction projects report because that's how we track all of our financial information for capital projects. However, at this point, I'm not comfortable with recommending it until we've had time to vet it. We can provide this as an addendum before the item either goes to Budget and Finance or the full council. The other alternative would be to include it in the financial status report. That has not been released. So between one of the two vehicles, we'll make sure.
To address it in that manner.
Yes.
Going forward. Okay.
I don't know if it makes any difference, but we submitted this request on March 5th.
So I just became aware of it, and you know how many moving parts there are in the CPR, so it may have been a disconnect internally with my office. I can't speak to that because the item's not submitted directly to us, but regardless of how we got to this point, we will find a city solution to make sure that we cover this expense.
Okay. I trust that we're all on the same page of making sure that DGUP is successful. We've invested quite a bit of effort as a city in terms of making sure that that project is successful. So I trust that we will be able to address this issue going forward, if not directly at this point in this report. We will definitely do that going forward. Colleagues, did you have any questions? No? Okay. So with that, then we'll go ahead and, without any objections, we'll go ahead and adopt with the recommended amendments from the CAO's office to recommendation 8. And seeing no objections, that'll be the order.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want this?
Two number ones.
Two number ones, right. Let's let the room clear for a minute.
Committee members, you have your item number 1 on your regular agenda.
Okay, we're going to continue with the meeting. Thank you.
And also number 1 on your special agenda, which are related items.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and open a special number, or bring on special item number 1.
Very good.
With one.
Special item 1, CAO and CLA reports and ordinance relative to the sale of city-owned property located at 1256, 1258, and 1260 South Figueroa Street and 621 West Pico Boulevard, without notice of sale or advertisement of bids to Lightstone DTLA, LLC, and related hotel development incentive agreements for a total purchase price of $9,646,000. This matter was approved by the MFC on April 17th and was also approved by the EDC committee as amended.
Good afternoon. John Wickham with the Office of the Chief Legislative Analyst.
Sherilyn Carrero with the Office of the City Administrative Officer.
So before you is a recommendation to sell a parcel at the corner of Figueroa and Pico in downtown Los Angeles. This is immediately across the street from the Los Angeles Convention Center. Back in 2012, the council adopted an action to declare this property as surplus and instructed the CLA to identify a developer who would build a hotel at the site. And we went to a bid. We got 2 bids, and neither of them were ideal, so they were rejected. And we did some additional work. Eventually, the owner of the 2 adjacent parcels came forward with a proposal to include both of those 2 private parcels and the city parcel, which is in between the 2. The city parcel is actually nestled between the 2 parcels, other privately owned parcels. And they came forward with a project to construct 3 hotels in 2 towers with a total of 1,130 rooms. These would be select service rooms, so it's a different price point than some of the other hotels in the area, which is a little bit better, a little more affordable. And this is very consistent with the city's policy to try and reach at least 8,000 rooms within walking distance of the convention center. And so This recommendation to sell the parcel went to the MFC. MFC approved it, sent it to EDC. By the time it got to EDC, it was discovered that there was a discrepancy in the square footage of the parcel. And so EDC requested the city staff go back, figure it out, and return a revised ordinance and legal description that corrects that. And so in front of you is the corrected ordinance and legal description so that we can effect the sale of the property.
And as part of your approval today, if the committee should approve it, the council is directing CAO and GSD to finalize the surplus property process with the direct sale of this parcel for $9,646,000. And they will effectuate the sale of the property to Lightstone DT LA LLC for the purpose of the Pico Figueroa Hotel.
Great. Colleagues, any questions?
Sure.
Sure. Mr. Bloomington.
Thanks. So who's going to oversee the agreement to make sure that we as a city get all the benefits that are listed in there?
As far as the hotel development incentives, those, the Economic Workforce Development Department is assigned that responsibility, and the CAO and the CLA also play a role in enforcing and monitoring to make sure that the hotel delivers the project as proposed, as well as the community benefits as proposed. In addition, every year there's a check on the incentives that are provided to the developer. The CAO is responsible for confirming all of that, and that goes through a council approval process as well.
And so in terms of the community benefits, same concept?
Yeah, we, for example, the developer is obligated to maintain the hotel as a select service, at least as a select service hotel during the life of the agreement, which is 25 years. So they are not allowed to turn it into a vagabond inn, or I don't know if that's a great hotel or not, but yeah, I think it's not a select service hotel. So there's a check every year to confirm that the quality of the hotel is maintained at the minimum level required by the agreement. So there are a number of checks that are in place that go on an annual basis.
Okay, great, thank you.
No disrespect to the vagabond.
No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have used a name. We would recommend adopting both the actions of the EDC committee as well as the supplemental report provided by the CLA.
Councilmember O'Farrell.
Thank you. Nothing against the vagabond in either, but I don't believe there's one in the 13th district.
Would you like
No,
one?
there might be. So all things considered, this $9,646,000 seems like a low price for the lot. However, I know that a lot went into this deal. All things considered, do you feel that it is, a good price? I doubt that's the actual market value of the lot itself with the location. But
We actually obtained an appraisal. GSD conducted an appraisal of the site, and that is the price that
Really?
was. Yeah, I know. We were very surprised.
that's still a lot of money, but downtown LA, it seems like it would be even higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were surprised at that. Now, so.
All right. Thank you.
So without objection, if we could go ahead and adopt those two items, both item number ones, that would be the order. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Have we cleared the desk?
You have.
This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.